Hi, I'm Pam Hayes from Hayes Sewing Machine Company, and today I'm going to show you how to use pinpoint placement on your Bernina. So, what I'm going to do, I have hooped my material and I have drawn a line. So think of, I need to put a name or a word on this line, and a lot of times we're fine if we're doing things straight on, but when we start getting, I need it to be a certain length or I need it to be at a certain angle, that starts to get a little bit confusing for us. So we let the machine do the work. Okay, I'm going to choose one of the fonts. I'm going to do curly, and I'm going to do uppercase and lowercase, and I'm going to spell sewing. Okay, there's my sewing. I want to shrink it down a little bit because I want to kind of put it on the line, and I could just visually see it might be a bit close. So remember to change the size. You go to the eye, the box within the box, and I'm going to rotate it down to about 80%. So you can see my word is a little smaller. At this point, we're going to put the hoop on the machine because we want to do pinpoint placement. Okay. We're going to go into the eye, not the big one, but the smaller one, in the cookie. And right beside size is this guy right there. It has two dots and the kind of square is falling outside. So if you don't remember, if you hit your question mark and then touch it, it tells you pinpoint placement. Touch pinpoint placement, and we're going to do the grid, and I'm going to do the bottom of the word. So I'm going to touch this one. Now, I've touched my first. I'm going to turn my length dial until I basically have gotten where I want my lettering to be first of all. And you see, I'm almost there, but not quite. So again, I'm going to turn that dial up. Once you get that position where you want it to be, you'll see the word set. You got to touch that. Now I'm going to go and do my second piece, and you can see it says, okay, it's going to be over here, but we need it to be in this location, up at the top. So again, just turn your dials and look what it's doing on the screen. It's actually moving things. Now this one moves a little slower because remember, it's not only changing size of the lettering, but it would also be changing the angle. So at this point, almost, but not quite where I want it to be. So again, I rotate that up, almost. That looks great. So then at this point, I'm going to hit the word set, and I am now ready to sew. So I hit the X, see how it's moved it for me. I'm now going to hit my needle, dot, dot, dot. It's at an angle, and I'm ready to sew. Now, I showed you pinpoint placement using the grid, and I'm going to show you how you can choose two spots on an embroidery and position it where you want it to be. So I've chosen the little honeybee that we see there. You see how the angle of the wings, okay, are going at a slight angle, but I want to line them up so they're on the line on my hoop, fabric in the hoop. So again, I go into the eye, I go into pinpoint placement, and I'm going to choose this one this time. Again, we used the grid just a second ago. When I touch this one, I'm going to choose my spot. See how I've chosen the end of my wing. So just like we did before, I'm going to move until my design is on that line. So this dot on the wing, I wanted it to set right there. When I've done that, you have to hit the word set. Now, I can choose anywhere. I could choose the foot, but I'm going to choose the other part of the wing. And you can see, I want that part up at the top. So all I have to do is turn my length dial. And remember, it's going to take it a bit because it's changing the angle of my design. It's thinking a little bit. It's doing all the math for me, which, gotta love that. All right, so see how I'm bringing it out? And I'm going to test it. No, almost. Seeming to be about 1/8 of an inch off today. That looks great. Okay, once you have that, any math it needs to do, it'll do it for you. I hit set, and now when I go to do my sewing, I would hit my needle dot dot dot, but you can see how the angle has changed for the wings. It has placed it exactly where I wanted it to be.